afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Event Center here, the Winsport Event Center in Calgary, the home of the 2025 Alberta School Athletic Association 4A Basketball Provincials. The girls and the boys are here at the Winsport Event Center in Calgary for the Final Four. We got 4 awesome semifinals for you. So glad you could join us here. My name is Grayson Knutson. Pleased to be joined by Paul D'Angelo, a Vice Principal at St. Mary's here in Calgary. And Paul, we're going to kick things off with Strathcona and Lethbridge Collegiate Institute on the girls' side. And for the Strathcona Lords, what a season they're having. This is the first time they've made the Final Four, the first time they won the Metro City in Edmonton.
Yeah, I took a look at their season, Grayson, and they won the Edmonton Championships. They are the number 3 seed coming into this game. Have had a lot of success, and it's going to be a great girls basketball game today.
Lethbridge Collegiate Institute, and we can see the bracket there. They were the champions in the South region, a different format this year. They got by Salisbury there in the I guess regional final, and you can see on the other side Strathcona over Cardston. That was in the Edmonton regional final. Outstanding graphics by our crew here make that up. So Lethbridge coming out of that South region, a very strong team as well, Paul, and this could be a good game.
L.C.I. is known for having one of the strongest athletic programs in the province, certainly in the South region, always strong. I was fortunate to see them a couple times this year, and they are very good, the number 2 seed.
Let's throw things now to the in-house announcer for the pre-game introductions, and we'll be back with tip-off in just a moment.
Institute Clippers.
MC, make another hit.
This ain't what you want.
Project,
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. Ha! 1600 block.
And now, please welcome the home team, the Strathcona Lords.
Hit it once, no time, set up, you gon' kill my vibe. Stand on my money, don't know my size. Pick them sides, and you better choose wisely. That's my high, 1, 2, 3, 4, throw up to 5. That's my high.
Here's today's starting lineup for the Clippers. At forward, number 2, Mission Miller.
MC, make another hit.
project.
At guard, number 3, Madison Cooch. At guard, number 6, Tylee Wahlberger. At forward, number 7, Charlie Tanner. And at forward, number 10, Caitlin Lowry. Head coach of the Clippers is Darren Miller. And now here's today's starting lineup for the Strathcona Lords. At guard, number 2, Elena Tenueo. At guard, number 6, Lauren Shepard. At post, number 7, Brooke Wagner. At guard, number 11, Victoria Dempson. And at post, number 15, Aliyah McClisko. Head coach of the Strathcona Lords is Kyle Palmer. Your officials for today's contest, Caitlin Murray from Edmonton, Patrick Cable from Calgary. And the crew chief for today is Natasha Prue from Calgary.
So there are your starting lineups and your officials for our first semifinal. First of 2 on the girls' side, first of 4 overall. We'll alternate girls and boys here. It's the first year we've done this Final Four setup, Paul, and it's been interesting. It's been some learning curves, but it's going to create, I think, a wonderful weekend, 2 days of basketball here.
The whole goal here at the Winsport Arena is to bring Provincials to a professional venue, and here we are.
How about a big block initially for the Lords inside, but there is a score from Mission Miller.
Clippers number 2, Michelin Miller, picks up the very first basket of the weekend.
Victoria Dabson for the Lords. She'll run the point, turns it over. Clippers will try to go in transition. Here's Miller again. Good defensive effort there by McGliscu, but it's going to be Miller with 4 points to start.
Great little stop and fake from Michelin Miller to get the defender off her, and she lays it up.
Elena Tedaweo, number 2, running point for the Lords. McGlisco now for Davson. Into the post. Trying to make a move was Wagner, and we get a jump ball. And possession right now is with the Lords.
Strathcona looking to get on the board there. They're going to get the ball on the jump ball possession.
Only 3 on the shot clock here. They got to let something fly quick. Lauren Shepard not going to get it away as L.C.I. Good defense to start. They had a steal, and now they've forced a shot clock violation.
Lords showing a little bit of nerves playing in the big venue down here in Calgary.
Going a little bit of full court press there, and they've forced a steal. Good poke by Tedaweo.
2 of our 3 referees today are Calgary-based regular 4A referees, new to these players.
Good hand there from Charlie Tanner. Ball will stay with the Lords, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Into the post, and a score and a foul. Good, strong effort from Lauren Shepard.
Great pass inside. Lauren Shepard makes a nice move, goes to the glass, and draws the foul, looking for the 3-point play.
Lauren Shepard played in 13 games this year, averaged about 10 points per game. She's coming back from a bit of a hip fracture. So she'll complete the 3-point play. 4-3, L.C.I. in front. There's a nice move, and once again, it's Mission Miller on a mission. She's got all 6 to begin for the Clippers.
Quick pass is the name of the game for the L.C.I. Clippers. They made about 4 passes there in the span of about 5 seconds to make the easy layup.
Looking for steals, too. Again, there was Miller. Strathcona with the ball. Tedaweo. Wagner, long shot. That one will heel out. The rebound claimed by the Clippers. Trying to go in transition with Tanner. Charlie Tanner all the way, but saying no was Wagner.
Absolutely huge block there from Wagner, number 7. She stayed with her, timed her block extremely well. And it's going to be L.C.I. ball on the baseline.
Couple of blocks already for Wagner in the game. The grade 12 post player for the Lords. Quick in. Oh, how's that good for a play? And they will convert. Miller with a one-handed pass back to Kuchu, inbounded.
Absolutely fantastic tip pass back to her teammate who made an easy bucket there, and it's 8-3 for the Clippers early.
Zipped pass down low, and now it's going to be a miss for Tedaweo. And this is going to be L.C.I. basketball.
Outstanding rebound there by the Clippers, and then the Lords were right on it trying to get the offensive steal, but they poked it out of bounds.
First sub in the game being made by the Clippers. Tylee Wahlberger comes out. In comes the number 12. That's Emma Martineau. Head coach Darren Miller for these L.C.I. Clippers says their eggs are all in this basket. They've only got 2 grade 10s and everybody else is a grade 12 this season.
That's an experienced team. Now, last year, Grayson, L.C.I. was the provincial bronze medalist. So with a strong grade 12 background, yep, they want to go for it this year at Provincials.
Kicked it back out. They'll work the ball around. Martineau thought about the 3, and then she is fouled. Another sideline ball here for the Clippers. Reset the clock to 14.
L.C.I. was the number 1 ranked team in the province for the first half of the season this year before Centennial took it over. Notably, Centennial and L.C.I. did not play each other this year, so possibly on a collision course this weekend.
Clippers inbound the ball. Miller. Little up fake there. There's another block. That one from McGlisco.
The Lords are sitting back in a 2-3 zone, happy to make some blocks here. Force L.C.I. to either shoot from the outside or attempt to break down that zone defense.
Allie Olsen, the number 4, subbed in for the Lords here. Miller kicks it out. Martineau fakes and drives, flips it up, a little bit short, rimmed out. Good strong rebound from Wagner. Starts the break for the Lords, and that's an offensive foul. A bowling ball there. Shepard ran right into her opponent.
At the charge called on the play, it looked like she dropped the shoulder and was trying to go through her opponent, hoping to draw the block.
Looked like the defender Tanner was set. Back to live action, turnover. Lords have the ball once again. Shepard calling out the play. Wagner at the free throw line, driving, was fouled. Ball just came out, but Wagner is gonna go to the line for a couple here.
Lauren Shepard has the ball a lot for the Lords. She is a grade 11 guard and described as an elite defender.
Apologies, not shots. We'll take it off the baseline. Dumped down low. There's a good hand again from the Clippers, forcing the steal. Tanner poked it free. Cooch all the way, but just rims it out. Rebound collected by Wagner. Wants to start a quick break here with Davson. Shepard, she gets tangled up there with Tanner.
Lauren Shepard got by the defender, tried to go to the hoop and was held onto, and she will shoot two.
Another look at it there. Trying to grab that ball, tie it up. Force the possession arrow to come into play. First one made by Shepard.
Shepard has played for Team Alberta the last 2 years, so obviously a strong player, as we've seen early in this game.
Scores them both. Couple of substitutes for Lethbridge Collegiate coming in. 6 and 10. That's Wahlberger back in and Caitlin Lowry. An inbounds pass, hand on it, but it will stay with the Clippers.
Lords are playing fairly aggressively, Grayson, with the press up the court here. Two players on the defenders.
Get this one into Wahlberger. Miller. Long jumper is off the mark, out of bounds, air ball. More substitutes. We'll see Ellie Friedley come in for the Lords. Grade 10 post player. 8-5, Lethbridge in front here to begin. Semi-final number 1 on the girls' side. Wagner, bounce pass, trying to find her way through with Shepard. And this is gonna be Clipper ball.
Clippers got off to a fast start, scoring most of their 8 points in the first minute. They've been stopped a few times since then, looking to get back on the scoreboard here.
Miller just kind of driving her way in chaotically, but got it to go. Mission Miller with 2 more. Lethbridge 24 and 7 overall this season. 24 and 2, the Lords, as Wagner rolls to the rim, scores plus the foul. Brooke Wagner. Got that shot in the face. Looks like that stings a little bit, but she seems to be okay. Might have just got her in the eye. Let's take another look. It was Miller called for the foul. Maybe did just get the finger in the eye there.
Michelin Miller on the team highlight reel here, has a whole lot of experience in both volleyball and basketball. 2-sport athlete, very decorated, and named the MVP of most of the teams she's played on.
Here's a turnover. Oh, but they say the Lords got just a fingertip on it. Everybody had swapped sides, and the crowd doesn't believe it either, but it will stay Clipper ball.
We have the L.C.I. fans right in front of our broadcast location, and you can hear them. Their voice and their displeasure with the calls. The call there.
Wahlberger, a little bit of trouble with it. Sends it across, 10-second shot clock. That one's thrown up. Another air ball. Brynlee Van Bruggen off the mark that time around.
Grayson, these teams play almost their whole season with 2 officials. Then they get 3 for provincial championships, so I think the referees are on top of their game.
Does that change the approach for either team?
I think you probably get away with a little bit less. But definitely easier for the referees to have a 3-person crew.
Shepard for Allie Olsen. There's Friedley. Wagner Looking for someone to pass it to, and won't find anybody in a white shirt. Stolen away again by the Clippers. Backcourt pressure. Clippers able to move it to the front court. Cooch, she's fouled. Cooch will go to the line for a couple.
Maddie Cooch, a successful basketball player, was also the league MVP on their girls rugby team in L.C.I. last year.
Not afraid to get into the lane and drive the ball at all. Physical contact won't shy her away as we take a look there at Madison Cooch. A little short on the first one.
Maddie Cooch was named a tournament all-star in both the green and gold tournament and the Medicine Hat white and green tournament this year. So she's had some success on the basketball court.
Ball's gonna stay with L.C.I. after both free throws were missed by Cooch. Able to fight for the rebound. Almost midway through this first quarter. Played in by Martineau. Zipped over to Wahlberger, long shot, that's good! Wahlberger for three.
Our first three-pointer of the weekend, outstanding shot, nothing but net.
Lords trailing by 6. Trying to drive, McGlisco kicks it out. A three to answer back, and that one heels out. Rebound up for grabs. Eventually claimed by the Clippers. Helps push the ball forward. Emma Martineau left it behind. Martineau on it again, dumps it down to the post. Lowry, that pass is intercepted. Good read by Avery Glasgow. Glasgow pushing the ball right to the lane, and that scores. Victoria Davson, a wonderful play.
Glasgow made an outstanding play and a dish to Victoria Glasgow. Finished off the play there for 2 points for the Lords.
Cooch, Tanner, back to Cooch. Thought about the shot. Martineau will fire. That one rims out, rebound claimed by Friedley.
Big defensive rebound there by Strathcona. On the offensive side of the court, Strathcona has their boys team cheering hard for them.
The only school with both teams here this weekend, and another inside play. Davson scoring right on the doorstep again.
And we have a 2-point game here, Grayson.
Lords have certainly settled down a little bit after that strong start from Mission and the Clippers. Tanner, that one won't go either.
Clippers passed to the high post, drove to the net, and it was shut down again. Strathcona already with about 4 or 5 blocks.
What an interception there from Charlie Tanner, up for Wahlberger. Tanner again, plays it out for Lowry. Wahlberger. Clippers down to 5 on the shot clock. Wahlberger needs to do something with it. Drives, flips it up, gets it to go. Wonderful play.
Absolutely fantastic basket there with about 5 on the shot clock. Drives hard, dekes the player, and goes in for the layup.
4-point lead for the Clippers. 15-11, another low post pass and another basket for Victoria Davson. Davson is on a roll right now for the Lords, trying to drag them back in, and she deflects that pass. It stays with the Clippers. Driving, blocked. Another block inside. It's McGlisco this time, and the Lords have 3 numbers. And defensively, getting in the way was Tanner. Not a foul I don't think the Clippers will be that upset with on a 3-on-1.
No blocking foul there. We're going to go to the line for 2 shots and a whole lot of subs coming in. 15-13 game here later in the first quarter.
Lethbridge got off to that strong start. We see Mission Miller back in now. First one a little bit short for Davson. One thing about this Winsport Event Center, Paul, is that there might be some getting used to the distance. The basket is a long way away from the wall, and I know most high schools have it basically right up against the wall.
These players are very used to playing their games in school environments that are a little bit smaller. So with an open air environment and probably 30 meters at the end of each basket before you see the stands, the depth perception is different.
So this is the home of the Calgary Surge of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. A tie up there, and the ball will stay at this end with the Clippers.
We just had Victoria Davson shooting free throws. She is going to go on to play for the U of A Pandas next year.
So she'll get to stay at home, pursue her collegiate basketball career. There's a long shot from Miller. Winds up being not a bad pass underneath, but it's defended again by Strathcona. And the Lords will push. They got a chance to take the lead here. Lauren Shepard gets a screen, drives all the way, and she's fouled.
Held on to just as she went up to pick up the ball for a layup. Lauren Shepard having a great first quarter. Grayson, I got to tell you, the L.C.I. Clippers would probably be up about 15 right now if it weren't for some great defense, blocks and steals from the Lords.
Clippers certainly have had a difficult time scoring inside on Strathcona, with the exception of Miller.
I do have to apologize. L.C.I. is one of those schools where the boys and girls teams have different team names.
Yes.
The boys are the Rams and the girls are the Clippers. So I think I've already said Rams twice, but I will try and stop doing that.
Mears Miller again, making an impact immediately upon her return.
Miller is one of the strongest players in this game, probably with about 10 points already, Grayson.
Wagner up against Miller. She falls, kicks the ball out, and this is going to go the other way. Interesting there that Leah McGlisco would leave that one. She must have thought that he was going her way.
Just reading here a little bit more information about Michelin Miller, also committed to play for the U of A Pandas basketball. So we got some players who are enemies in this game and teammates next year at the University of Alberta.
We'll see that a little bit throughout the course of the weekend. We got a foul called there, as trying to drive was Tallman. And so Casey Tallman will go to the line for a couple as we're into the final 90 seconds or so. Both teams are over the limit.
Calgary-based teacher Michael Mahoney on the PA this weekend. He's also the Stampeders and the Surge PA announcer, so pretty prevalent in the Calgary community.
I understand why. That's a phenomenal voice. Free throws have been tough for both teams in this game. Another empty trip to the line. Don't want to miss your freebies, especially in a playoff game. Wagner takes it from the free throw line. That's a nice looking jumper.
Fantastic jump shot for 2 points from Wagner. She's sitting back in the high post looking for the shot, but in that case was not defended. Took a step back and drained the jumper.
Well, there's hands in the way that time from Davson. She'll play it ahead. Shepard can't finish. Davson stripped away by Tegan Wells. 17 apiece, final minute, first quarter. There's a three thrown up and a little bit too strong from Tallman. Shepard into the post for Wagner. Wagner gets around Miller and scores again. That might be the matchup.
Absolutely fantastic play, getting by the defender and driving to the hoop, finishing the left-handed layup.
Miller, good dribbling here. Pulls up from the free throw line, and that rattles in.
The Lords just took their first lead of the game. It was short-lived. We are back tied.
They can hold for the last shot if they would like. Tried to wrap the pass around. Instead, Miller comes up with a steal. Miller, she just wants to drive and try to score, gets her own rebound, and she does. Final 5 seconds here, gotta be quick for the Lords. Half-court heave.
Wow.
Oh, it rimmed out, but it was good if it went from Victoria Davson and Paul after the first quarter. Lethbridge leads Strathcona 21-19, a very entertaining game thus far.
Fast-paced, a lot of fast breaks, Grayson, some great defensive stops from the Lords. L.C.I. is known for their quick passes. Almost every offensive possession, they are making 4 to 5 quick passes in an attempt to attack.
It seems like the matchup in this game will be between the two stars. It looks like we've got Brooke Wagner for the Lords and Mission Miller are going to go kind of head-to-head throughout the course of this one.
Michelin Miller had a great start to the game, picked up a few baskets in the first couple of minutes, then came off the floor. And as soon as she came back on, it was very noticeable. Super strong, grade 12 basketball player.
Is that going to be something that L.C.I. is going to have to find in this game? Head coach Darren Miller is going to have to find some secondary scoring?
Absolutely. You got to, at this level of basketball, when the teams are this good, this is your provincial 2 and 3 seeds at this point. You're going to have stiff competition. It's about who rises to the occasion. Coaches have to manage foul trouble, player energy levels, making sure they've got the right 5 on the court.
This is the first of 2 girls semifinals, first of 4 semifinals we'll bring you throughout the course of the day today. The Alberta Schools Athletic Association 4A Provincials. It's the Final 4. Again, we talked a little bit different format. It used to be just a 16-team tournament all in one weekend, and now they've split it up over 2 weekends. We had 4 regional tournaments with 4 teams each, and we've come to a Final 4. We had the number 1 seed Lethbridge Collegiate from the South region and the number 1 seed Strathcona from the Edmonton region.
Very different approach, Grayson. In the past, this has always been a 16-team bracket tournament taking place in one weekend. But this year we are over 2 weekends with regionals last weekend, which was a one-and-done experience. Teams had to win 2 big basketball games in order to get to the Final 4 weekend here at Winsport.
Get a little bit of a NCAA March Madness feel where you have kind of the regions and then everybody comes together for the Final 4.
100%. I think that's the idea, and here we are, a professional venue, not a school, giving players a great experience this weekend.
Second quarter between the Clippers and Lords is underway. Hope you're having a great Friday. Here's Wagner dumping it off down low, and a miss inside on a bunny from Lauren Shepard.
Lords like to set up and get the ball to the high post there. Wagner, who either shoots or looks for an option in that play. She had a teammate there. And layup was missed.
Clippers with Cooch running the floor. Van Bruggen, Miller. She'll kick it out. There's a 3. And that's a little bit strong from Tallman. Missed a couple of times from this near side wing. And now we get a jump ball situation. Possession arrow is pointing with the Clippers.
Just 7 seconds on the shot clock here. Clippers setting up in their inbound play.
Not an easy place from underneath the basket to inbound. They do find Cooch, kicks it out. Tallman might have to just throw it up, but she's stripped to the ball. Davson, Shepard, too strong again. Shepard, a couple of looks from in tight, missed them. Miller, nice bounce pass. And that one, I think, got a hand on it. Still battling for the ball was Lowry. Kicked it out for 3. Oh, and a foul on a 3-point shot. We will see Van Bruggen to the line for 3 attempts.
There's a couple in close plays there where the Clippers were probably looking for a foul call. Didn't get it, kicked it outside, and did get an arm on the shooting hand for 3 foul shots now.
Brinley Van Bruggen. Head coach says a great clutch shooter. Says that she hits the big shot when they need it. 1 of 2 from the line so far, and I think she forgot that she was shooting 3.
They're so used to just having 2 foul shots. The odd time you get 3.
She was quick to go get the rebound, though, I'll tell you that.
And then realized she was the only person fighting for it.
1 of 3. Lords will try to push quickly here. Shepard bounces it to Tedaweo. Tedaweo, nice pass, and a good block by Miller, denying McGlisco, who fought for it back. 10 seconds on the shot clock, it didn't reset. Shepard forced to drive baseline, and another good steal by the Clippers. That one's just thrown up by Tallman, a little wild. Good rebound from Cooch. Cooch, nice, up and under.
Absolutely outstanding post move there. As you described, up and under, left-handed layup, 2 points for the Clippers.
Elena Tedaweo for Wagner at the free throw line, matched up with Miller again, and she just lost the ball. Clippers trying to push there. Van Bruggen's pass is broken up, and Wagner's got it under her control. Elena Tedaweo, the grade 11 card for Shepard. Wagner lets it fly again. Long jumper, rebound Davson, and she puts it back easily.
Great read there from Davson Grayson as she found exactly where the ball was going, made one quick move.
Oh, Davson with a steal now. Davson dropped it off, and say there was a blocking foul there committed by Cooch. One more look. Right there, the hand from Davson forced the trouble.
What an outstanding read and steal on that play.
And there's the foul. Triple sub for the Clippers. Martineau is in. So is Tanner, as well as Wahlberger. There's a three hoisted up. Tedaweo is off the mark.
Inbound play, found Tedaweo all alone at the three-point line, took the uncontested shot, fell a little bit short.
What quick throw from Martineau right to somebody on the sideline there. Nice catch. They're not playing though. So out of bounds, and it's right back to the Lords.
L.C.I. feeling the heat a little bit, having trouble getting out of their own zone the last few possessions.
Shepard for Wagner. Tedaweo. Fine for Shepard. Just a short little pull-up jump. A little strong, and the rebound claimed by Martineau. Once again, hands from Davison. It will stay with the Clippers, but she is proving to be a pest.
Davison making outstanding reads there on the press. She's the only person up in the front court putting heat on the ball, but it is working, and this time the Clippers wisely choose to go a different direction.
Tanner for Miller. Miller driving on Wagner, gets it to go. Strong move for Mission Miller.
Grayson, we don't have the points there, but I think Michelin Miller is easy at 10 or 12. She has been a dominant force here so far today.
Yeah, no running point totals here. We'll try to keep people updated with stats from the half. This one's kicked out towards Davison. Try to drive herself, 5 on the shot clock. Wagner, that's a nice little baseline jumper.
Outstanding play. Davison was stopped herself, but looked to dish out. Jump shot made by the Lords.
Clippers up by 3. Miller for 3. That's good. Mission Miller stays hot.
Fantastic three-point shot, nothing but net.
Stretches that L.C.I. lead to 6. Shepard gets a screen. A little Euro step, couldn't finish, but she was fouled. And it'll be 2 shots.
She showed right, then did a quick cut left and got the shot up and fouled.
See the hand there from Van Bruggen. Called for the foul. Cooch will come in for Van Bruggen here.
After that last 3, L.C.I. has opened up a 6-point lead, probably their biggest lead of the match so far.
Shepard's first is good. It's been Shepard, Davison, and Wagner providing a real good chunk of the offense for Strathcona in this one. That one rims out, rebound up for grabs, and it's Lord's ball. Good effort from Davison.
Grayson, I feel like the Lethbridge crowd is starting to filter in here as their Friday workday ends. There's more and more people coming in every whistle.
Wagner on the inbounds. There's a 3, and that one's too strong. Rebound gathered by McGlisco. Tried to throw it out, and she threw it right to the opponent. Wahlberger. Martineau driving. Too strong. Rebound claimed by McGlisco. Tedawea wants to push the pace. Kicks it out. Open 3. That's too strong. And the rebound, Martineau. She wants to run it as well. Up ahead for Tanner. Tanner surrounded there by Shepard. Able to find an outlet in Wahlberger. Bounce pass, Miller. Little step back. That one will rim out. 5:45 to go in the first half. Dumped down to Wagner. Up against Miller. Good defense. And the ball will go to the Clippers.
Number 7, Wagner, was hoping for the foul call there. She was kind of camped out in the post position, calling for the pass. Tried to go to the hoop, but was stopped by the Clippers.
Allie Olsen coming in here for Tedaweo for the Lords. Avery Glasgow on the floor as well. Wahlberger, Cooch, Tanner. Cooch again. 10 seconds in the shot clock. Wahlberger bounces it inside for Miller. Kicks it out. Martineau thought about the 3, drives instead. Flips it up. Rebound claimed by Olsen. Lords, did they turn it over? No, they didn't. And from Miller, put it out of bounds.
Great read from Miller to knock that pass out. Stop the fast break attempt of the Lords.
Here's Wagner running things from right atop the free throw line, sorry. There's a three-pointer. Olsen banks it in. Well,
much to the approval of the Strathcona boys team who's playing up next. They love that three. And the lead is closed back to 2.
been a good game back and forth. There's a three that's off the mark. Rebound collected here by Glasgow. Avery Glasgow for Wagner. Free throw line jumper again. That one, soft shooter touch. We're all tied up at 29.
Wagner always camps at that high post, and one of the first looks on offense for the Lords is to try and get her the ball. Great shooter, but she also makes some fantastic plays from there as well.
Cooch, there's a little short shot that was missed from Tanner, and then a foul committed as Martineau was getting a little bit aggressive.
Offensive foul from the Clippers. A few less fouls this quarter, Grayson. Well, a little past the halfway point. We're so far avoiding bonus.
There's the replay of the foul, an obvious one for our officiating crew. Davson, Martineau all over her, fights through a screen. Davson all the way and flips it up and in. Really
Davson's
nice.
been a dominant force in this game, and that one-on-one with the defender, she beat her to the outside and the easy layup.
Strathcona in front now, 31-29. Cooch, she'll drive it, leave it there for Tanner, steps around, blocked. Wagner sends it out of bounds.
L.C.I. again, always trying to make some quick passes, make something happen, break down the defense of the Lords.
Couple of subs for Strathcona. Olsen comes out, Davson is out as well. Tedaweo returns, so does Lauren Shepard. Inbounds pass, 7 on the clock. Martineau up top. Cooch sends it out. There's a high arcing shot, and it's going to be claimed by the Lords. Was waiting to see if it was going to be shot clock, but Strathcona had possession. Tedaweo, Glasgow. Wagner trying to drive. Strong move, Brooke Wagner.
Right now, Wagner is the option for Strathcona. She's taking some great shots from that top of the key area, but in that case, instead of shooting, she drove to the hoop. And we have a timeout called by Lethbridge.
They have seen Strathcona go back in front now after they were up by 6 here. It's a nice run, 8-0 for the Strathcona Lords.
Grace and I commented probably just about 2 minutes ago that L.C.I. had opened up their biggest lead of the game at 6 points. Since then, it has been 8-0 run for Strathcona, which has forced L.C.I. into a timeout.
There's head coach Darren Miller in that Clipper huddle, giving the instructions.
L.C.I. this season only 1 loss over the course of the year and spent most of the year, the first half of the year, as the #1 ranked team in Alberta. So we have to wonder how much adversity they faced.
27-1, and I see from their list of tournament appearances that they won a whole bunch of them. They won in Medicine Hat, they won obviously their own tournament, St. Mary's tournament, Notre Dame. The McGrath Heartbreaker, they were consolation champions. There's their 1 loss. Somewhere in that tournament.
Yeah, whoever they matched up against in the first round of the McGrath tournament picked up a pretty big upset, knocking L.C.I. to the B side as they won their other 5 tournaments. Grayson, I'm fortunate to work at St. Mary's High School. L.C.I. came in and did a wonderful job winning our tournament. Class act organization and great basketball program.
Clippers inbound the ball. They're down by 4 here. So we misspoke. That's a 10-0 run for Strathcona. Mission Miller double teamed, fights her way out of it. Chucks it out to Cooch. Cooch from distance, just front rimmed it, and a clear rebound lane all the way. Nice defensive effort, and they're calling a foul there on Cooch. It looked like she got a clean block, but
yeah, the back referee in that case made the call. Sometimes you get lucky on the rebounds. Breakaway opportunity provided as the ball fell right in her hand. And
maybe with the body.
Anyway, we got a couple shots.
First one made by Avery Glasgow.
Extending the lead in the hot streak of Strathcona.
Glasgow, the only grade, Ellie Friedley too, one of 2 grade 10s on this Strathcona roster. So both schools with just a couple of grade 10s.
When you go to a 4A high school, Grayson, you got to be a great player to make the senior team in grade 10, let alone get playing time on the court.
Tallman, Miller blocked. There's Wagner again all over her.
Miller was looking for the call there as it looked like the hands were over the top of the head. Did not get it.
Shepard just throws it up wildly. Miller grabs the rebound. Mission Miller. Cooch. Tegan Wells. Cooch again, pressured there by Glasgow. Miller, good pass down low, and that's a bucket. In tight for Caitlin Lowry.
L.C.I. gets the monkey off their back with their first point in about 4 minutes. That came from number 10, Caitlin Lowry, as you mentioned.
Shepard gets a screen from Wagner. Oh, she's in, and she got, she traveled. That's why she was so free to the basket. One too many steps.
Couldn't get away with that one there. Sometimes referees, as you go to the hoop, will throw the rule book out the window, let you have an extra step or two, because that's what sells the tickets, Grayson.
Here's Cooch as we're into the final couple of minutes of this first half. Wahlberger, Wells. Wahlberger trying to get it down into the post. It's stolen. Davson, Shepard able to get it to go once again.
No block, no charge call, just some good, aggressive, physical basketball, and a great finish by Strathcona. Now Strathcona's opened up their first 6-point lead of the day.
Cooch heels it out. Wagner skies for the rebound. Moved ahead now for Davson. Wagner up top, McGlisco. And she traveled too.
Another travel call against Strathcona.
Sometimes I think the referees remember the rule and they're like, yeah, we got to call that a couple of times. Here's a look at that last strong basket from Lauren Shepard.
Well, the way refereeing works from the Alberta Basketball Officials Association, the strongest referees in the province who have had great seasons are here working the Final Four weekend, but they are also under, I don't know if scrutiny is the right word, but they are getting feedback from evaluators on every game, and the top officials or the top performing officials this weekend will work tomorrow's final.
That's another thing that we always look at the athletes and they got to work hard to get here, but the officials have to work just as hard to earn their places at provincials and the bigger events as well.
100%. And Grayson, working in Calgary and knowing the 4A basketball scene, I know 2 of these 3 referees well. I see them all the time. The third one was in our gym last weekend for regionals, and she did a great job as well.
Timeout was taken here by the Clippers. As again, they find themselves trailing by 6. They were up by 6 earlier in this half, so it's been a 12-point swing.
Clippers trying to weather the storm as Strathcona number 7, Brooke Wagner's been a part of a very strong run the last 5 or 6 minutes, opening up the lead for the Lords.
My math is correct. I think it's 14-2 since it was 29-23 for Lethbridge.
Yeah, just 1 basket from the field for the Clippers here. They are looking to get into halftime and get back to the drawing board. I did notice that they have changed their offense a little bit, positioning a post at the top of the key more regularly. We'll see if that leads to some success.
Here's Cooch. Dumps it down for Miller. Lots of hands in the way. And eventually they do call a foul, and Miller will shoot 2. Look at all the hands trying to just knock the ball away from Miller. Somewhere in there, surely a foul.
Michelle Miller had a great first quarter, a little bit quieter this quarter, as the Lords have successfully targeted her on defense, knowing that she will be a big part of the Clippers' attack.
Wagner's done a really good job defensively on her. So second shot here for Miller. She'll split a pair. Now we're going to get a timeout, or a substitution, pardon me.
Last minute here of the first half of our first of 8 games this weekend here at Winsport. Girls semifinal number 1, and it has lived up to the billing as a great basketball event.
Today we'll go girls, boys in semifinals. Shepard driving. Felt she got fouled, and now we've got a jump ball. Possession arrow is staying with Strathcona.
Strathcona sent a message the last few minutes that they are taking over this game, and if they could even punch in a few more baskets here before the half ends. Currently up by 5.
Wagner able to get that pass to Kate Lampshire. Shepard, Wagner, 3 on the clock, down low. Oh, what a pass in the last second, and Friedley lays it in.
Absolutely outstanding pass to Friedley, who got by her defender, was all alone for the easy layup.
No panic as the clock was expiring. Miller double teamed into the post, turns it over again. Lords can hold for the last shot of the half.
That just goes to show you, Grayson, the Lords have figured out that Miller's going to be a big part of their attack, putting 2 bodies on her.
Oh, Shepard lost the ball here, and we get another jump ball. Possession arrow going the other way. So the Clippers will get one last look with 6.4 on the clock.
6 seconds, you got time, take it slow, get the ball off the court, and try and set up the best shot you can with just 6 seconds. But they have to hurry.
Across the halfway line, she's gonna get a shot off. Cooch can't beat the buzzer, and the first half ends with Skona in front 39-32, the largest lead for either team here coming at the end of the first half.
It's been a very exciting seesaw basketball game. L.C.I. got off to a huge start, picking up the early lead. Skona battled back, then fell behind 6, then it swung the other way, and Skona has the 7-point lead here at halftime, Grayson.
We'll get some stats and we'll be back to break things down before the second half begins. It's Strathcona 39, L.C.I. 32 after the first half here. Semifinal number 1, 2025 Alberta Schools Athletic Association 4A Basketball Final 4 right here on IC Live. And welcome back inside the WinSport Event Center here in Calgary. We're at halftime of semifinal number 1. Strathcona Lords lead the Lethbridge Collegiate Institute Clippers 39-32. Grayson Knutson with Paul D'Angelo here with you. Our first of 4 semifinals today. Paul, what did you like about the first half from a Strathcona perspective?
Well, Grayson, Strathcona fell behind early. L.C.I. had all the momentum in the first couple of minutes of the game. They responded, battled back. They actually fell behind again, but they absolutely took over the last 6 or 7 minutes. One of the keys to their success has been their ability to shut down Mission Miller, who's one of the strongest players on the court.
There's Miller right there, number 2 in your foreground. Now Lethbridge is going to have to make some adjustments here to what Strathcona has done defensively.
Right now, Strathcona has all the momentum. They had a big last 6 or 7 minutes of the half. Now we get to see what L.C.I. is made of as they come back out here in the third quarter.
It's going to be Strathcona ball to begin this second half, and they'll inbounds it. And we are back underway. Glad you could join us here on a Friday. Driving now is Lauren Shepard, and she'll just put it on the front rim. Clippers with the rebound and the ball. Here is Mission Miller. Miller kicks it out. Number 6 is Tylee Wahlberger. Wahlberger back for Miller and out for Cooch. Good ball movement here. Miller just throws it up, was fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
That took a shot there from the top of the key and fouled on the arm. Last Lord's possession, Lauren Shepard had the ball right at halftime. She's a story of resiliency coming back this season from an avulsion fracture on her hip. She's rehabbed and gotten right back out there. It's a great job from Lauren Shepard on Strathcona.
Miller trying to split the pair, and she'll come up empty. Again, free throws for both teams have not been very good, unfortunately. Missed opportunities at the line for both teams. Lords will dump it into that high post. That's where Maya McGlisco is. And there's a 3. A long shot for Victoria Davson, who continues to roll.
Davson's had a strong game today. They're draining the 3, extending the lead to 10 points.
Cooch was knocked away, but it comes back to her. Miller, again, double teamed. Gets it out, final 7 seconds, so they dump it to number 7, and that one's not gonna go. Rebound claimed by Wagner.
Strathcona's had a lot of success using their height to knock down some of those L.C.I. passes.
And in transition, that's a bucket for Shepard.
Not the start here to the third quarter that L.C.I. wanted. They're gonna have to respond quickly.
Lead is ballooned to 12 here for the Lords. Miller, that ball is deflected out and will stay with the Clippers.
As soon as Miller gets the ball there at the top of the key, immediately 3 defenders on there, and she's still trying to get through. Needs to find the open body, because if you have 3 covering 1, somebody is open.
Cooch, Miller knocked away immediately, and another nice play there by Davson. Victoria Davson, little stutter step, and 1, Davson!
Davson takes the ball to the hoop, puts it in, draws the foul, looking for the 3-point play. And folks, it's fun playing high school basketball in the professional environment as we have the flashing lights after a big basket.
Yeah, there's lots of smoke and lights, everything's going on here. It's a great atmosphere. Davson will complete the 3-point play. There's another steal. Good hands from Shepard. Force a turnover. Is everything, I was gonna say everything going the Lord's way, but just dropped the ball right there.
Strathcona did kick that one away, but they have opened up a 15-point lead here early in the third quarter. L.C.I. still looking to get on the board this half.
This is Wahlberger for the Clippers. And another turnover for L.C.I. Shepard looks for an option. Wagner in the post. Wagner will kick that one out. Stepping back, Davson, another 3. That one just short. And the rebound gonna be watched out of bounds by the Clippers, and they'll get the ball.
Davson has been one of the most noticeable players at both ends of the floor, picking up steals, great offensive plays as well, and always hustling.
Martineau subs in here for the Clippers, for Lowry.
Clippers need to change something up here and get on the board.
Cooch, Miller trying to drive. Open Van Bruggen in the corner, does get to her. Tanner gave it away, fighting to win it back. Big pile up on the floor, and we get another jump ball. Arrow will stay at this end.
Another block from Wagner, and you can tell they are very well coached, high basketball IQ. A few of their players only putting their hands up right on time to get the blocks.
There's the 3 from Martineau, and that one will bounce out, rebounds. And a foul is gonna be called here underneath the basket. And it looks like it's going against Strathcona. Interesting, the foul is on Elena Tedaweo, when it certainly looked like it was Tanner all over her back.
And the crowd in front of us voices their displeasure, but it won't change the minds of the referees.
Well, the whistle blows here before the ball's inbounded.
A little bit of confusion out there. Mission Miller asking a question. Coach is wondering what is up to, as coaches tend to do.
Sam Ringrose for the Lords, co-coach with Olivia Palmer. This ball is going to be out of bounds and go the way of the Clippers.
Great deflection there from Scona, just couldn't come up with the steal, but still a disruption in the offense of L.C.I. Appears to have been enough to reset the shot clock.
The whistle blows again away from the play.
I think I was a few seconds ahead of the referees there that maybe the shot clock shouldn't have been reset on that play.
It says 24 at the moment. Referees will get together and discuss. Doesn't look like anything is going to change. Or maybe it is, and that's what we're waiting for. There it is. Yep, shot clock back to 12 instead of 24. So Clippers will inbound from their own half and only have a dozen seconds.
And they go straight to Miller, and again, the double team is prevalent.
Martineau all the way across. Van Bruggen blocked. McGlisco able to get there, and that'll force a shot clock violation, and the Lords are fired up.
Absolutely huge block there on that play from the Lords, shutting down the L.C.I. offense who went a different direction. 3-point block, and Grayson, the Lords have all the momentum here at Winsport.
Clippers still haven't found the bottom of the net here in this second half. Meanwhile, the Lords have already found a way to put up 8 points, and they're looking for more. Glasgow, and she ran into trouble, and that pivot foot slid, so a travel call.
L.C.I. needs to regroup here, or look at a timeout early in the second half, third quarter.
Play it forward, 21, Lauren White. Don't think we saw her in the first half. She's out there now. Driving is Lowry. Got into a bit of a trouble and turned it over again. Wagner stole it.
Number 7, Brooke Wagner.
Oh, great pass ahead and a nice finish. It's Glasgow on the feed from Davison, sorry. Miller, another block, Wagner. She has come to play defensively. This time she bit on the up fake. And there's another block, McGlisco whacked it right out of the hands of Miller.
The block show is going on from Scona, led by Wagner and
McGlisco.
There's
a three. Dobson puts it down. It's a 20-point lead for the Lords. And a foul here.
Grayson, we are on a 29-3 run since about the midpoint of the second quarter. It is all Scona here at Winsport.
It was 29-23 Clippers. It is now 52-32 for Scona. Boy, how things have changed here in this game.
Obviously, they're having success on the offensive side, but this is coming from block after block, defensive stop after defensive stop. Great job by Scona. They are dialed in.
Van Bruggen, Miller, tried a low post pass. It's off the leg, and Wagner's got it again. She's fouled. I think that's just frustration from Miller.
Number 7, Brooke Wagner fouled there. Wagner's been an absolutely defensive force here. Probably closing in on a triple-double with the number of blocks and steals to go with the points today.
Scona with the ball. Not even halfway through this third quarter. They're outscoring their opponent, 13-0. Wagner, McGlisco. There's Shepard, bothered, able to spin away. Got a screen, Shepard driving into the Miller, and Miller just gonna rip it away, and then she's fouled. Shepard commits it.
Shepard seemed like she was looking for a foul there. Might have dropped the shoulder a little bit on the last offensive possession, and then was fighting pretty hard for that ball back. Third foul for Shepard. Coach will have to keep an eye on that.
Fourth team foul as well on Scona.
Scona playing aggressively, but it's working as they are on quite the run.
Miller. Wahlberger. Back to Miller. Cross court, Van Bruggen thought about the three. Will step underneath the defense, fling it up. Rebound is kept alive by Lowry, but she stepped on the end line, so it'll be Strathcona basketball.
Earlier in that sequence, Mission Miller got the ball right at the top of the key, and immediately there was 5 Strathcona defenders in the area. They are still targeting her and succeeding at doing it.
Ministry of Tourism and Sport with the Government of Alberta is a funding provider to the ASAA. The funds received from this area of the government are put towards enhancing the quality of life for Albertans. And thank you to them for sponsoring this event. As this one's knocked out of bounds, a foul committed. Martineau, I believe, was the guilty party. It's her 3rd personal and 3rd team foul on the Clippers. Martineau will come out. Coming back in is Maddie Cooch. Miller also to the bench. Tanner on the floor. Davson. She's driving. Davson with the bucket and the foul. Victoria Davson having a game.
Victoria Davson has taken over both sides of the floor, going to U of A to play Pandas basketball next season. She has been on Team Alberta for the provincial team for each of the last 2 years. This year, she averaged 17.3 points per game and 7.9 rebounds per game.
And I saw Pandas head coach Scott Edwards at the half. He's had his eye on this game, as we mentioned, a couple of future Pandas taking part as we get another turnover from the Clippers on that long pass. Miller and Martineau come back in. Van Bruggen, Lowry to the bench. Here's Davson. She's on fire right now. Couple of threes in the half. Defers to Wagner, trying to drive, kicks it out. There's a 3, a little bit too strong, and the rebound claimed by the Clippers.
Wagner and Davson just doing everything right now for Strathcona.
Martineau from distance. That one won't go in either. Paul will get you down there at the next stoppage to get that lid off the L.C.I. basket. Nothing going in right now. Clippers with the basketball. Down by 23. Miller driving. And this is a jump ball, and it is Strathcona basketball.
Ran into traffic there, and the hands were digging for the ball from Strathcona. They've been playing aggressive defense and currently have L.C.I. shut right down.
It's Kate Lampshire with the tie-up. Shepard. Lauren Shepard gets a screen. Dumps it down to Wagner in the post, working on Miller. Wagner feeding. This one's thrown away. Good read by Martineau. Throws it ahead to Miller. Miller high off the backboard. That's not going either. Another thing, L.C.I. really hasn't been able to get transition going, and a lot of it's because they had to take the basket from under, or the ball underneath their basket every time down the floor. We get another jump ball and possession with L.C.I.
L.C.I. needs to respond here soon. I don't believe they have a basket at this quarter. We're just about 7 minutes in, and they're going to call their first of 3 second half timeouts.
So in this third quarter, the score is 16-0 in favor of Strathcona, as it's a timeout taken by L.C.I. It's been one-way traffic, Paul, and L.C.I. just cannot get anything going. Their wheels are spinning.
Basketball is a game of momentum, and we have to see what L.C.I. is made of here. Can they respond right now? They're frustrated. They're probably a little bit down, but these girls are athletes that are playing basketball and other sports year-round. They're highly trained, and I have every bit of confidence in them that they'll battle back here. But you also have to tip their cap to the strong defensive play of the Lords right now. It's blocks and steals and good solid defense positioning. They are battling, which is leading to team success.
Again, it's a Strathcona team that won the Metro City Championship in Edmonton for the very first time on the female side in their history. And they've also never gone to the Final Four before, the semifinals here. So this is really unprecedented territory for Strathcona on the female side.
So Strathcona here for the first time, looking to go to the provincial final for the first time. And kind of neat, I have a neat tidbit here about Strathcona. On their bench, they have Michelle Maglesko, formerly last name Hendry. She's one of their assistant coaches. She represented Team Canada at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. And she's the all-time leading scorer at Simon Fraser University.
Very cool.
Grayson, I remember the 2000 Olympics. Team Canada was in it. That was the year Steve Nash played for them. Had some success, got on a bit of a roll there. But my favorite moment from Australia was Simon Whitfield winning the triathlon.
How could you not? That was an outstanding moment and more outstanding defense from Strathcona. Another shot clock violation.
One of my favorite moments in sports, Whitfield was in second place, and in the home stretch, he blew by another guy to win the gold medal. But back to basketball we go.
Lords driving with Shepard, just throws it up wildly and taken away by Miller.
When you see a shot like that, Grayson, referees way less likely to make a foul call.
So that's what they're looking for when they just kind of throw it up. Miller, nice hesitation, can't get it to go. Then Wagner is called for a foul on the second attempt.
You have to feel for Miller a little bit there as they look to get back on the scoreboard. Two great opportunities. The ball just did not want to fall for her there.
She has been all around the basket. It just hasn't gone in lately for her. Maybe seeing it go in once will do the trick. That's the first point for the Clippers here in half number 2. Comes with 2:35 left in the third quarter.
Notably, Grayson, the Strathcona boys team is still watching. They're probably going to start prepping for their game at the quarter change as they are playing the provincial semifinal against the number 2 ranked team in Alberta, St. FX, coming up at 4 p.m.
It's an all Edmonton affair there. That'll be a good one. As Shepard tries to drive, was denied. Wagner on the rebound, and we get another tie-up. So another jump ball, and the arrow is pointing the way of the Lords.
A 22-point lead now for the Strathcona Lords.
Really is amazing, Paul, how this game has just gotten away from Lethbridge, because in the first half, they certainly looked like the favorites for the first, let's call it 15 minutes or so, but the last, I don't know, it's 15 the other way, have been all Strathcona.
A few in-game adjustments and a few dominant players playing well at both ends of the floor.
Miller thought she had taken it away cleanly, and I guess they will get the ball at the end of the day. It is a jump ball possession with the L.C.I. Clippers.
Pretty quick whistle there on the jump balls. It looked like Miller had gotten away cleanly, but that's why we're up here and not on the floor.
Here's Tylee Wahlberger. Casey Tallman for 3. Tried to bank it in, won't go. Rebound, Miller with the putback.
Outstanding rebounding and positioning there from Mission Miller. Left-handed layup for 2 points.
Shepard guarded there by Wells. Finds Wagner, little handoff to Shepard. Shepard gets through, and she scores, plus the foul. Once again, Lauren Shepard finds the back of the backboard, banks it in.
Lauren Shepard giving up a little bit of height there to Mission Miller. Goes hard to the hoop, gets the shot off, and does a great job.
Trying to complete this 3-point play.
We've mentioned Lauren Shepard a couple times. Grade 11 player, so she'll be back for another year of 4A basketball. This year she averaged 10 points a game.
There's a little flip up there from Tallman that wouldn't go. Rebound collected by the Clippers. There's a 3, and that's good for Wahlberger. Much needed points for the Clippers.
Clippers back on the board the last few possessions, hoping to close the gap here and add some excitement to the fourth quarter coming up.
Wagner gets the ball in that favored spot, just above the free throw line. Driving, and a little bit too strong that time for Davson. Rebound claimed. Miller wants to go all the way herself, and a little bit too strong on the layup. Clippers get the rebound. Wahlberger again. That one too strong. Miller inside, missed on the rebound. So they're getting looks now, the Clippers, just not finishing.
Clippers had a few great opportunities there. If you want to claw back in the game, you got to get the ball to fall.
19-point lead for the Lords into this final minute, third quarter. Shepard tried to flip it up Miller the other way, quickly Lowry. Lowry with Wagner guarding, and Wagner guards the yard like nobody else.
Brooke Wagner, probably north of 10 blocks in this game. Not, well, I am sure. Is it on here how tall she is? No, we don't have that stat. Suffice to say, she's taller than us, Grayson.
It doesn't take much, sorry, buddy. Underneath the basket, trying to inbound it, and they will. Keep it on your own side, but they didn't. Wells just put the foot on the wrong side, and everything just going against Lethbridge Collegiate Institute at the moment.
Over and back by 1 step. Tough break there. Lords get the ball in the front court.
Davson, she's driving again to the right. Flipped it up, didn't go. Rebound claimed by the Clippers. They'll quickly get it ahead to Wahlberger. Wahlberger, Tallman, up top, Lowry fakes. Back towards Tallman. They want to get it into Miller, just too many hands in the way. They turn it over, final 10 seconds. Lords with the ball and a great effort coming back from Wells. Final shot upcoming here for the Clippers, and it's Tallman. There was a lot more time than she realized as the horn now sounds, and it'll be a 19-point lead for Strathcona as they win that third quarter by 12.
One of the challenges here, Grayson, is these players adjusting to the venue as they're used to playing in schools. They do have the time clock right above the rim, but I'm not sure. Maybe players are sometimes looking up at the end zone scoreboards.
End zone scoreboard, I've seen some. They've got the clock in the corner of the floor. Seen that before too. So, what a quarter for the Strathcona Lords as they stretch their lead even further here, Paul, as they're just really running away with this first semifinal.
They're just shy of a 20-point lead right now, which is going to make it tough, but not impossible to come back. But I would like to note something. At about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, L.C.I. did call a timeout, and since that timeout, they picked their energy level back up, their compete level. They've decided that, hey, we're going to do everything we can to battle back to get into this one.
You teased it. There it is, coming up at 4 o'clock. Strathcona Lords, St. FX Rams. That's boys semifinal number 1. As we'll alternate here, semifinals.
Grayson, that's a big game coming up. I had the opportunity, I believe in the second week of February, to watch St. FX live as they were playing the St. Mary Saints in the championship game of the Western Tournament. And I have not seen Scona boys, but I have to tell you, they have their work cut out for them, as that St. FX boys team coming up at 4 is a very strong basketball team.
It's going to be some entertaining action all weekend long. One of these two teams, Lethbridge Collegiate Institute or Strathcona, is going to play for gold tomorrow, and the loser will drop back to bronze. Clippers hoping to take that step up the podium this year. They got their work cut out for them here in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, again, we've talked about the Lords, their first trip to the Final Four, so everything they're doing is just creating history on the women's side for that school.
As we mentioned, L.C.I. last year's provincial bronze medalist. They are back in the Final Four this year with a number of grade 12 players, so there's a rebuild coming. They want to have their best possible result this weekend, but either way, a number of their girls will remember this experience forever.
Of the 12 players on the roster for L.C.I., 10 are in grade 12, the other 2 are in grade 10. So there's a little bit of something for the future, getting some experience, the likes of Emma Martineau, and Mary Saul Valgardson, who we haven't seen yet. Travel.
Now, some of these South High schools are basketball factories, and despite the fact that they have 10 grade 12 players this year, I am positive that they have a number of players in the pipeline ready, willing, and able to replace them.
Ooh, a double dribble call there. That's our first of the game. Cooch gets called. Lowry comes in, and Miller goes to the bench for a quick breather. I suspect she'll be out there for a good chunk of this quarter.
We talked earlier about Lauren Shepard.
Here she is driving. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound picked up.
Lauren Shepard battling back from injury this year. She only played 13 games, which leads me to say she only returned in February, but she's barely come off the floor in this match, working her way back into the starting lineup.
She's got the ball here. Shepard kicks it out, three-pointer. That goes! Good shot from Lampshire.
Kate Lampshire, grade 12 wing player with a big three-pointer right there, extending the lead to 22.
And I'm not sure what's happened here, but Wahlberger is a little bit goofy going off the floor.
If anyone ever tells you the basketball isn't a contact sport, you got to put them on a polygraph because they're lying. Doesn't take much to get an elbow or a shoulder or a finger to the face.
Just kind of went down there, looking at her leg perhaps. We'll keep an eye on that as the Clippers have the ball. They put it into the post for Lowry. Kicks it back out, Cooch. There's a three for Martineau. That's not gonna go, rebound. It'll be knocked out of bounds and stay with the Clippers. 6 on the shot clock, or sorry, reset it to 14.
Great hustle there from Madison Cooch to try and get that ball. It's gonna be Clippers ball in the inbound.
Miller comes back in for Lowry. Clippers inbound. Martineau into the lane, played it back out. Ball falls to Miller. Tanner for three, Van Bruggen, a little bit too strong.
Strathcona is happy to sit back in that 2-3 zone, and why not when you can put number 7, Brooke Wagner, right in the middle. And she swats away almost any attempts with a little help from number 15.
Oh, big collision there. Blocking foul will be called on Charlie Tanner. Shepard ran right into her. One more look at it. Tried to get there and be set, wasn't quite.
Yeah, it did move at the last second. Great call by our referees.
Hampshire thought about another three. Plays it back towards Victoria Davson. Davson into the lane. Shepard, step back three. That won't go, rebounded tight. And McGlisco is battling for it, but can't come up with it. Clippers ball.
Clippers currently down by 22. Need a push right here with just over 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Ball in the hands of Mission Miller. And she's lost it again. Davson applying the pressure. Davson was almost stripped. Found an outlet in McGlisco. Davson. Wagner, quick shot. Rebound collected by the Clippers, and they'll look to push with Cooch. Madison Cooch flipped it up, and this one didn't touch anything, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Lord's ball.
No fear for Madison Cooch when you're driving to the hoop on number 7, Brooke Wagner. Tried to go through her, and the ball ended up getting swatted away again. Just dominant defensive performance today by Brooke Wagner.
As a team, the Lords have held Lethbridge Collegiate Institute to just 6 points in the second half so far. Miller all the way to the cup, and she scores. Nice little feed from Cooch.
Great drive there from Miller. Read on the play, makes the easy layup.
Tedaweo, nice feed. McGlisco plus the foul. Laya McGlisco.
Outstanding pass there goes to McGlisco as we look at the rebound or the replay. Makes the layup and draws the foul for a chance at a 3-point play.
Glisco and Wagner have kind of formed that interior defense you've talked about all game long, Paul, as she's short on the free throw. Miller grabbed the rebound, trying to go end to end, and she'll do just that, Mission Miller.
Back-to-back buckets on the last 2 possessions from Mission Miller, getting back in the game here.
Oh, it's an open drive to the hoop, but too strong for Wagner. Didn't think she'd miss the gimme. Martineau, Van Bruggen, Miller fakes the three, drives, kicks it out. Cooch from distance, that's off the mark. Cooch got a hand on that to keep it with the Clippers. Now Cooch got hacked.
Basketball looked like a pinball there for a moment, bouncing around. It is L.C.I. ball at the moment, down 20.
6 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. Shepard out and Lampshire back in for the Lords. Van Bruggen inbounds. Cooch, Martineau, Miller, Van Bruggen tried a quick little slip pass off a leg. 7 on the clock for Miller. Double teamed, Martineau, and she just fell down. Ball with the Lords, quickly pushed ahead. Tedaweo turns, shoots, and gets that one to drop. A shooter's bounce.
Outstanding turnaround fadeaway jumper, extending the lead to 22. Strathcona absolutely pushing things here. Most of their starters still on the floor as we approach the second half of the fourth quarter.
Catalina Tedaweo drive once again. Good footwork. And the soft touch. Ball in towards Miller, but there's Wagner all over once again, forced a turnover. Davson dishing. Tedaweo. Davson. And no reason for the Lords to hurry, but they'll take an open three. Missed it, claim the rebound. And a jump ball, arrow is pointing the way of the Clippers. 5:53 to go, again a 22-point lead for the Lords. They will be in no real hurry for the rest of this game.
Yeah, Lords should be comfortable on their offensive possessions to run the clock and only take a shot as we approach 24 seconds. Take some time off here and get this one in the books.
This one's tossed in but turned over again. L.C.I. bitten by the turnover bug in this game, but of course Strathcona's aggressive defense has forced a lot of those as Davson tries to drive and she's called for the travel.
An extremely successful defensive game here from the Strathcona Lords. 24-2 this season. And their coach has said they do an excellent job of staying the course and maintaining high levels of compete. And after watching them today, I can attest.
Miller missed, Lowry got the rebound. Miller tries again. That one's not gonna go either, but she's got a third chance. And ooh, a heavy fall to the floor for Miller. Frustrated, but she will go to the line for a couple. Another look at the fall to the floor. Miller makes the first. Miller lines up the second. And it'll rattle home. Lead back down to 20.
Another neat point about Miller, she captained the L.C.I. Clippers volleyball team this past season to the school's first ever 4A provincial title. So she already has a 4A provincial championship this year.
Dual sport athlete. And many of these players do play at least one other sport. With a persistent defense there. It's Tallman trying to come up with a steal. Davson swatted away by Miller. And the ball will stay with the Lords, 10 on the shot clock.
Just reading up a little bit more about L.C.I., this is kind of neat. 3 other players were also on the 4A Provincial Championship volleyball team. Maddie Cooch, Caitlin Lowry, and Charlie Tanner. So that's 4 players who this season are in their second 4A Provincial Championship tournament.
Pretty impressive timeout taken here. You can see there, Clippers are out of timeouts. The Lords have 1 left to use here in this fourth quarter. And Strathcona's really, again, run away with this, and they've established a lead and haven't let Lethbridge have anything back.
So Grayson, if you were coaching today, what would your strategy be if you were Strathcona? You've got that 20-point lead. Are you resting your starters, or are you keeping them on the floor and pushing at all costs?
I think it's a little bit early for the starters to come out, but I would be certainly considering that here in the next couple of minutes. Maybe if I could get another couple of scores and stops, I think I would maybe do that.
I believe we're playing the provincial championship match at 5 o'clock tomorrow for
yes, for the women.
girls.
So they have almost a full 24 hours plus. Maybe be the late games that you would consider maybe pulling a little bit earlier.
100%. I imagine these teams too will be here in a couple hours to watch our other girls semifinal, which will be played between Centennial and It is Centennial. I'm sure of that as a Calgary guy. I got to watch Centennial a few times this year. They are the #1 ranked girls team in the province and a very
Spruce
strong
Grove
team.
is the
Spruce
other
Grove.
team, that's right.
That's right. Strong Edmonton presence here at 4A Provincials. 2 girls teams and 3 boys teams, so 5 out of 8 teams coming from Edmonton this weekend. 2 from Calgary and 1 from Lethbridge.
Now, Spruce Grove, if you count the capital region, I guess from Edmonton. Clippers working the ball around. They find Lowry driving baseline, and once again, there's Wagner getting a hand on it. And a foul committed as Miller went back up with the offensive rebound. Wagner is going to play with the UBC Thunderbirds collegiately. 14 points, 13.5 boards per game this season. It's a nice piece for them.
I have to tell you, the T-Birds are very lucky to have her. I just hope she likes rain moving out to Vancouver.
Well, you don't have to deal with as much snow, which is kind of nice.
I made a trip with my friend way back in 2006 for the World Juniors. We were in Vancouver for all 2 weeks of that tournament. It did not stop raining the entire time.
No, not at that time of the year, that's for sure. Miller. That one will go as well. Clippers pressing a little bit here, trying to force some turnovers off of Miller's hands, and ball stays with the Lords.
We are in the dying minutes now of the 4th quarter. Just a reminder, at 4 p.m. we've got our first boys semifinal. The arena starting to get more and more people as the work and school day ends in Calgary.
There's a blocking foul called on McGlisco, and if you're a Lords fan, you would like to stick around for that guy's game as well, because Strathcona in that one also.
Strathcona boys are watching this game today. They've been quite animated on the baseline, cheering on their girls. Looks like they're going to be cheering them on to victory, and then a big provincial championship match tomorrow.
And they'll be looking to go for the sweep as a school, win both the boys and the girls. Just a quick pause here. There's a look at some of the Strathcona staff members and players. Just a delay from the scorer's bench here.
A little bit of confusion as I think they're resetting the shot clock again, finding the right time.
19 on the clock as the Clippers look to inbound. Lowry, corner 3, that's good. Caitlin Lowry.
Beautiful shot there from Lowry. Grade 12 forward for L.C.I.
Terueo thrown back out. There's a long shot that's rebounded by Terueo, and she misses. Clippers are gonna push here. Cooch, Miller for 3. Short rebound up for grabs, and it's claimed by the Lords and Friedley. Pass from Terueo to Shepard, blocked by Miller. And stepped out of bounds, did Shepard as the ball touched her. All of a sudden you can feel the intensity and the desperation from the Clippers ratchet up a few notches.
Yeah, they're in the dying minutes here. They are in a bit of trouble, down currently 15, but it was as big as 20 just a few minutes ago.
Ball into Cooch and then quickly to Tallman. Now it's Miller. Mission Miller's pass, good one for Lowry. Sneaks another one in, timeout. Strathcona as the lead is down to 13.
Lowry picks up the bucket, and Strathcona not taking any chances here, calls a timeout to make a couple adjustments. Just reading up on the Strathcona Lords, a report from the coach for Provincials. They put an emphasis on scouting opponents and working to build game plans that feel will give them the best chance to win. Through watching film, preparing our late game situations, and having played many difficult opponents throughout the season. And that's paid off today as they responded to an early push from L.C.I. and built up a quality lead.
They're gonna have to stay strong here, though. Clippers aren't going away. They've cut this down to a 13-point lead, and there's still over 3.5 minutes left to go. And so now we'll see maybe if a little bit of provincial experience versus provincial inexperience comes into play.
100%. I'd have to think with 10 grade 12s on the team, there has to be a number of players that were a part of last year's provincial bronze medal team. And even though it's a different sport, I'm sure the experience of winning a provincial championship in volleyball can come in handy at this level too.
All of those experiences, all of it can be used and reworked in a different way. Mindset, though, would be the same.
It wouldn't be a high school basketball game if you didn't hear Soulja Boy.
Lords with the ball, and once again, Clippers pressing, and they force a turnover. Here's Lowry. Lowry dishes. Cooch. That won't go. Miller grabs the rebound, and it's taken away by Terueo. So the Lords dodge a bullet there. Don't give up a bucket. Wagner at the other end throws up an air ball.
Just over 3 minutes remaining here. L.C.I. with a little bit of late game momentum here, trying to push back.
Seems like all the Clipper fans are lined up right along the court side. All the Lords fans are up here with us as this ball will go the way of Strathcona.
The intensity and energy level in the building has noticeably picked up here in the dying minutes. Only a 13-point lead. Nothing's impossible.
It looks a little bit empty on your camera, but a lot of the people are on this near side underneath the camera where you can't exactly see them as Miller tosses it out. Tallman up top, worked around from Lowry to Cooch. Tanner, Cooch, Lowry, 10 on the clock. Try to pass inside, it bounces back to Cooch, lets it fly, elbow jumper is off the rim, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it's gonna stay with the Clippers.
Coach called the ball one way, the referee called it another, but only one is actually in charge. L.C.I. taking a timeout here with 2:31 remaining here in the fourth. They are currently down 13.
So things haven't changed in the last minutes when Strathcona took that timeout. Still a 13-point edge. And now time for the Clippers is really becoming a factor. They were up against it before, but they're really in trouble now.
Yeah, we're in the dying minutes here. You probably have to force the issue. You don't want to be running out the shot clock. You want to be attacking or setting up a quality shot chance. Maybe time to look at taking a few three-point attempts.
I was going to ask you that, Paul. Is it time to just start hoisting them up, or is it still a little early for that?
I think you have to play to your team's strengths, which they have done. If you can get an open shooter, go ahead, take that three if it is uncontested. If they're keeping the heat on the outside, they need to drive. If you run into traffic, dish and find somebody who's free. But you do want to be attacking at all times, not holding back, ticking off the precious seconds.
Wahlberger, Martineau, Van Bruggen, according to the coaching staff, some of their top three-point shooters. We see Wahlberger hit one. She's been dealing with some ankle and back issues, trying to find her way back in here. Late in the second half of the season, she's been dealing with those. She's not on the floor at the moment for the Clippers, as they've got Tallman in for her. Inbound for Cooch, fouled. Good pass from Tanner.
Absolutely outstanding inbound play there. Cooch stuck behind her defender, had the layup opportunity, but was fouled. She gets her two shots.
There's another look at that inbound play. Foul called on Shepard.
Another adjustment.
That's her fifth foul.
Oh, Shepard has to leave the game on her fifth foul. Good, strong, aggressive defender. It is worth it with that lead.
Short on the first one.
Another adjustment to watch for Grayson. We talked about taking shots and forcing the issue. Look for L.C.I. to put the full press on here in the last 2:35 to try and get the ball back.
It's worked out for them a couple of times as this one bounces in. You can see Miller right up there immediately. Terueo looking for a way out, found Davson and open. McGlisco, easy two.
And there's the challenge of putting a press on a very strong team, as they can sometimes find that easy layup, which is why you never see the press in the NBA.
Cooch Couldn't get it to go, gets her own rebound, and one! Madison Cooch trying to bring these Clippers back into the game.
Only a 12-point lead now with 2:13 remaining.
Cut it down to 11 here with the free throw.
Years ago, Grayson, I was watching my school and they were up by 8 with 1:07 left, and I said to my friend, we got this. The rest was history as we let the lead evaporate.
It's never over till it's over. Look at the steal. Miller got it right off the inbound pass. Couple of misses. Wahlberger for three. No, it's healed out. Rebound gathered by the Lords and a foul committed.
Yeah, smart play there by the Clippers. A couple good inside chances. Miller is in traffic and good defense, kicks it out to the outside for a three-point attempt. Only a 10-point lead here with 2 minutes left.
A little bit of trouble along the sideline, and she stepped on it. Davson, as the Clippers press is really working out well here. Aside from the one McGlisco bucket, they've forced a turnover every other time.
L.C.I. has fought back here in the fourth quarter.
Tanner. Miller has Davson guarding her, lets the three go, it's short. Rebound, Wagner able to claim it. Terueo dishes, McGlisco off the glass again.
Strathcona forced the issue, found the relatively easy bucket. So it worked, and you always take it when it's there. But at the same time, you want to be looking at slowing things down and running some precious seconds off the clock.
Once again, we've got a issue with the shot clock at the moment. They want to reset it to 147 here on the inbound.
13-point game with just over 100 seconds left here.
Cooch for the Clippers. Knocked away by Davson, but it comes right to Wahlberger. Lowry, Miller. Kicked it out, Wahlberger lets the three go. It's good! Single digits. Or sorry, it's still a 10-point lead, I apologize. Foul committed.
Clutch three-pointer there, great shot by the Clippers. And it's a 10-point lead here with 92 seconds left. Nothing is impossible.
There's a look at that three again. We've seen how much trouble the Lords have had getting the ball in bounds here last few plays.
All of a sudden, the temperature rising inside the Winsport Arena as the score clock officials and coaches discussing just about every second. Possibly one of the challenges of an event being in a different venue is scorekeepers might be used to different software and score boxes running the clock.
Mission Miller has fouled out, they say. I think they were just confirming the fouls.
Miller doesn't seem too willing to leave the court as the coaches are arguing whether or not it is 5 fouls.
Somebody has an iPad out there and maybe she's counting them, but Miller will have to leave the game. So that's where the confusion was and the delay comes from, was they were trying to figure out that situation, and unfortunately for Mission Miller.
Still a great performance today by Mission Miller. Wonderful start, fought hard all the way through. Tough ending to the game when you foul out, but it's also a sign of playing hard.
Davson, again, the Lords just looking to use up as much time as possible, but they've turned the ball over again.
Just over a minute here, L.C.I. has to force the issue, set up a shot fairly quickly.
Lords are being pretty aggressive here defensively, maybe hoping to force a mistake. And there is one, a travel. Lowry gets called.
Yeah, the Lords haven't had the press on in a while, and all of a sudden threw several players up the court there. Try and frustrate the Clippers.
Well, an interesting look too. You suspect the team that's up would just drop back and protect. Instead, they're still getting after it defensively. And here is Wagner. to the corner. Lampshire, Wagner, tied up, and jump ball arrow is with the Lords, but only 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
We're into the last minute of the game here. Lords with 3 seconds on the shot clock. L.C.I, when they get the ball, will have to get up the court quickly. Davison on the inbound, high basketball IQ player.
Davison, Wagner got it off, didn't score it as it's heading the other way. Cooch. Van Bruggen. Clippers got to get a shot here. Time is not their friend. Wahlberger. What defense from Wagner preventing the shot. There's the three from Lowry. That's off the mark. Rebound gathered in, and another rebound, Tanner, and it never hit the rim. Although it looked like the Wahlberger layup attempt might have caught the heel.
Yeah, they're going to discuss that a little bit. 30 seconds remain. At this point, 10 points is pretty insurmountable, but you never know.
So they did reset it, and it will stay with the Clippers here. Van Bruggen in. That one too strong. Wagner's got the rebound. Plays it ahead for Terueo. And that's pretty much going to do it as the Strathcona Lords, first time to the Final Four. How about a first trip to the Provincial Championship? As putting the exclamation mark on it is Victoria Davison.
Strathcona fans and parents and coaches have a lot to be excited about and celebrate today. Pretty strong performance to look for them to be a threat tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock in the Provincial Championship game.
And they're hoping to have more to cheer about when the boys hit the floor at 4 o'clock for their semifinal against St. FX.
We have a number of Strathcona fans in front of us. They're up cheering for their team. Great performance there. I have to single out a few players. Brooke Wagner on defense. Lauren Shepard and Victoria Davison. I'd say we're the three dominant players for Strathcona today.
So there you go, 70-58. Strathcona will go to the 2025 4A Girls High School Basketball Provincial Final. Quick word on the L.C.I. Clippers here, Paul. Another great season. They're going to come up just a little bit short in the provincial semifinal, but they've got another look at bronze tomorrow.
Well, we have to say these are some fantastic athletes. They won 4A bronze last year. That is nothing to shake a stick at. Fantastic job. They have 4 or 5 girls who won the provincial volleyball championship, and if they could add another medal to their collection, there's absolutely no shame in that tomorrow.
So we know one part of the bracket for tomorrow on the girls' side. Strathcona will play for gold, and L.C.I. will play for bronze. At 4 o'clock, we've got the first boys semifinal with the Strathcona Lords up against the St. Francis Xavier Rams, and that'll be our next game here at the ASAA Provincial Championship right here on IC Live.
Number 3, Madison Cooch. Today's Set the Bar Award for the Strathcona Lords. Number 6, Lauren Shepard. Congratulations to both these teams on a terrific contest, and thank you fans for attending. Stick around for more ASAA 4A basketball action. Our next match will be coming up in 25 minutes.
Big thank you to our crew, Paul D'Angelo as well. My name is Gracie Knutson. We'll be back with you for the start of that game shortly right here at the 2025 ASAA 4A High School Basketball Provincials in Calgary.